thrill me.
This show is part of the Thrill Me Podcast Network. Experience more on Facebook and YouTube.
It's Review It Man, reviewing what he can. Movies are his jam, so let's get twisted, man. It's Review It Rob. Hey yo, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Review It Rob Show. Hope everybody out there has been doing great since the last time you tuned into the show. Man, if you're running a marathon of this show, God bless you. But yeah, I am your host, Review It Rob. Thank you for joining in. Hope everybody's doing great. Again, as always hoping people out there are doing great, man. The world is crazy, so we always want to hope for the best, right? But what a way to start the show. But thank you for joining in. Got a news-heavy episode for you this week, mostly because I didn't watch a movie. I throwing it out there on Front Street. I did not watch. Do people say that anymore, by the way? Throwing it out there on Front Street as I look at the Chucky poster on the wall like I'm talking to Chucky. But yeah, didn't have the opportunity to watch a new movie or anything like that. I wasn't able to hit theaters to see what came out, John Wick 4. I need to see John Wick 4. Wasn't able to see that. I need to go check that out. And this week, Dungeons and Dragons comes out, which I'm excited for all of a sudden. But I will. I've already got plans set to see that movie. But I know I'll catch John Wick eventually, probably on Paramount Plus whenever it hits there. But if you saw John Wick 4, drop it in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Spoiler free, of course. But as always, thank you for joining in the show. Like I said, news-heavy episode this week. This is WrestleMania week, man. WrestleMania week for you WWE fans. You know how big of a deal that is. A lot of content going down every single day this week, it seems, for WWE content. Maybe not Wednesday, but nonetheless, or Thursday, right? Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know, but a lot of stuff going down this week. And it's WrestleMania week, and that's why I didn't watch a movie. I've been watching classic WrestleManias leading up. I like to do that going into the next event, especially when we get around WrestleMania time. It's been interesting to see those old classic wrestling. I'm up to WrestleMania 5 right now. Obviously not going to get through all of them before we get to the new WrestleMania here, which, obviously was obviously not going to be the case. But I may go ahead and skip forward to WrestleMania 21 next to go ahead and, because that was the last time they were in LA, if I remember correctly, and they're back in Hollywood this year, so it'd be kind of cool to see the differences. I've already seen some of the set photos, and this thing is going to be huge, insane. Can't wait to check that stuff out, man. But y'all are here for movie talk. I mean, honestly, we're here for everything, right? I mean, this show is a jumbled up mess of all kinds of stuff, and that's the Throw Me Podcast Network in general, babies. Throw Me Podcast Network, that's where you can find this show as well as many other great podcasts, including my brother Tombstone Josh's show, the Metal Groove Podcast, which has a new episode out now for you to check out, where he is discovering the band Ghost. I like a couple Ghost songs. I have a couple Ghost songs downloaded on my YouTube Music. Check out that episode. It's a pretty good episode. Plays a couple clips from some songs to gauge like real-time reactions there, because again, he's never listed the band. So it's a pretty cool episode there. All kinds of fun stuff going on Throw Me Podcast Network, as well as the Bracket Challenge, the Throw Me Bracket Madness Challenge. Throw Me Madness Bracket. Who cares? The challenge is going down. We have the finals happening this week, this Thursday. We've got Joe Leone, the guy I've beaten twice now, trying to get another shot at me for a championship because he just likes to continue to embarrass himself, versus Cartoon Justin, who I am rooting for because we want a fun challenge, man. But I digress, man. We got those finals going down, then I will defend my championship, the Throw Me Podcast Network Championship, against whoever wins there. That, of course, is on our YouTube. Subscribe, like, and subscribe to that. Turn on those notifications to be updated on all the stuff we got going on over there, as well as all the podcasts that drop there as well, man. But let's see. First thing to talk about, a little thing called Halloween Horror Nights dropped some stuff, man. They dropped some stuff. And you can check out Hunter's podcast, another great show here on the Throw Me Podcast Network, who went through all of that stuff. Go check them out. They gave great detail as always. They are the haunt show of the network, and they give you all the goodies going on there. But I, of course, will talk Halloween Horror Nights on the show as well, because it's one of the things. It's the main thing I look forward to every year, and it's something I just absolutely love and adore every single year. They dropped the dates for the event and some of the tickets, single night tickets. behind the scenes tickets, stuff like that are out right now. And they dropped the first look merch, which I immediately bought the shirt and I have it hanging up over there. Have not worn it yet, but I am in love with the shirt. I was in love with it the first moment I saw it. I love the blue of it. The skull background, the zombie looking people, the disheveled city in the background, all that good stuff. And then the words "See you in the fog" in the front, and again, just the most hauntingly beautiful blue color ever. Absolutely love that shirt. Cannot wait to rock that shirt every week. That's what I do. I wear Halloween Horror Night shirts every week. Um, but I had to get that as soon as I got it. So there's this merch out now, and I heard or I read on Twitter from a reputable source that you want to hurry up and get that merchandise because it could be, um, from what they were told by somebody who worked at the park, that merchandise would be gone as soon as they're sold out. That it's not planned to come back at the event, which is another reason why I'm glad I bought that shirt. And I like that idea. I like buying the merch early. Like this, I like these early drops because I can buy the shirt now. Because when you're at the event, you've got so much money with you. You've only have so much money. You got to eat, and you got to drink and all that stuff. And normally, merch wise, you like one shirt. At least that's how it works for me. Last year, I was in a tight spot. I wasn't able to get anything last year, which sucks, but that's life, right? We move forward. But this early drop merch, I like it because normally I don't buy like a event shirt per se. I normally buy like a house shirt or something like that. Like if the Stranger Things shirt got over there, they had a Chucky shirt at 28 that I got as well. I got both Stranger Things shirts. But I normally don't get like the event shirt. So glad I got that. Happy about that. Excited about that. I love that I'm just moving around and talking with this show should really be a freaking video show. I just need to get the room set up here. But nonetheless, man, Halloween Horror Night stuff is out. I suggest you go check that out. It's fantastic, fantastic, fantastic stuff, man. And they're teasing some things. They've got a TikTok now and all that stuff where they're teasing some events and all that stuff. So again, yeah, make sure you pay attention to the Three Podcast Network show Haunters Podcast for more in-depth information than that. You're just going to get like the fan side from me. They're fans too as well, but they're going to give you the knowledge as well as with me. You're just going to get like the fan reaction and maybe some knowledge every now and then, but not really, just me reacting and all that stuff. But that is that. Halloween Horror Nights, always excited about that. Can't wait for more information to drop. Then honestly, they could give me absolutely no information whatsoever. I'm going to be there every single year because I love it. Have to be a very huge event to keep me away from Halloween Horror Nights. But other than that, man, let's go ahead and jump into the news. Of course, every single episode has your mandatory DC and horror spooky news. So we're going to start off with DC because it's the least amount of news since our last episode. A lot of stuff going on around Shazam 2. Apparently, a lot of people are calling it a box office bomb or whatever. Let me pull up the box office mojo real quick on it to see where it's at the moment. But you've heard my review. I absolutely loved this movie and will continue to love this movie no matter what people want to say. All right, so yeah. And Zachary Levi went live the other day. He's been talking about things. Apparently, The Rock stopped a credit scene from happening. I'm not going to go into too much detail there. In case you haven't seen the movie yet, it's been a couple weeks, but still, I don't like to spoil stuff, even if it's a couple weeks out like that. But yeah, the end credit scene was going to be a little bit different, but apparently The Rock put the kibosh on that, which is fine. I mean, well, I like Zachary Levi. I have no problem with Zachary Levi. He seems like a fun dude. And I like The Rock. Well, let's not get. I like The Rock more, the wrestler The Rock, more than actor Rock. I like some of The Rock's movies, but it's kind of like the same thing over and over again. And then you find out in his contract he's not allowed to lose. But didn't he lose at Doom? Maybe this is like a new contract thing. Did I spoil Doom? Don't worry. Don't worry about that. If you haven't seen Doom by now, what are you doing? Go see. I'm saying Doom, Doom, not Dune, Dune, Doom, video game movie. Hilarious movie. But I like The Rock, but again, more as a wrestler, and then this whole thing's been going on, and it honestly does seem, and of course a lot of people and Rock fans are not going to like what I'm going to say here, but it does seem like The Rock has really came into the DC universe and wanted to make it The Rock's DC universe, and we see how that's worked out. So I cannot wait for all of this to turn around, because there are some people out there who don't want to see the movie because it's not connecting. Which, by the way, if you're not seeing a movie because it's not connected to another universe, that is the stupidest reason to not see a movie ever. Holding nothing back here because, again, very stupid reason not to see a movie. Um, so, box office, according to Box Office Mojo for Shazam 2 right now is $101 million. I mean, I just love the fact that something can make $101 million. We're like, no, that's horrible. And I think like the what's the word I'm looking for here? The production. What the hell's the word that I'm just all of a sudden blanking on? Budget. All right, so according to just a quick Google search and Wikipedia, which we know Wikipedia is not always right, the budget was 110 to 125 million dollars, and it's at 101.7 million dollars right now. So whatever, dude. Um, I enjoyed the movie. I absolutely love that movie. I put out a tweet about it over the weekend where I'm like, I can't wait for this movie to hit home viewing and people to watch it and realize how wrong they are, and for this movie to become a cult classic because it absolutely will be. If you loved the first Shazam movie, there's no way you hate this movie. I do not care who you are. I do not care what you say. If you love that first Shazam movie, there is no way in hell that you would hate this movie. It's asinine. And the only reason you're doing that is because one, you don't like the changes going on at DC, so you're like a Snyder bot or something like that. Or two, you're a rock fan and you just want to shit on the movie because Zachary Levi said things. That's the way it is. But nonetheless, that's what's going on Shazam wise. Other stuff going on in the DC realm. Just mentioned the Snyder bots. Director Zack Snyder has revealed what he was teasing. We talked about this on last week's episode a little bit, that Zack Snyder was up to something, and he's now revealed what it was. It is SnyderCon, where he'll be screening Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. It does not specify if that's the extended version or not, but hopefully it is. And then Zack Snyder's Justice League, which that is a 4 hour movie? 4 hour movie. Five? Four? I forgot. I haven't watched it in a while. I do freaking love that movie though. As much as I don't like the Zack Snyder fans, I like the Zack Snyder movies. Um, Justice League was 4 hours, right? Yeah, 4 hours. So yeah, he's doing that. He's doing a screening in April 28th, 29th, and 30th, and it has sold out. Snyder did write, quote, "Wow, so grateful for the amazing support from everything from AFSP." AFSP is the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, which is the big part of this screening where the proceeds are going to and all that stuff, which is very amazing. Obviously, if you don't know, there's a sad story that happened around the filming of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and one of his kids passing away due to suicide. So his daughter sadly passed away from suicide. So obviously, sad moment, and he's using that moment to uh, send support and help fund, and which is awesome, which is what you should definitely do. Which again, I don't have a problem with Zack Snyder. It's just some of the Zack Snyder fans are the ones that rub me the wrong way. But that's going on, and then full circle event did sell out in minutes. Going back to his quote, so sold out in minutes for those who. Am I saying minions? Sold out minions? Sold out in minutes. For those of you who were not able to secure tickets, I'll be doing an online watch party during both the Man of Steel and BVS screenings. There will also be a live stream of the Q&A panels after all three screenings. Details will be provided closer to the event, end quote. Which I'd watch if I had time. I definitely would try to check it out. Hopefully it'll be on YouTube, and you can watch it at a later time because those are long movies. But I would definitely be interested in seeing that stuff. He also teased something about a poster after the event happens. From what I saw, it's a poster of the Superman statue from the Batman vs Superman movie, right? Or Justice League movie, one of the two. And it had something about Snyderverse trilogy written under it, which people have been freaking out. They're like, "Oh, he's finally gonna finish it." The Snyderverse trilogy is Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Justice League. But we'll see what ends up happening there. I know a lot of Snyderverse fans don't give up, man. They do not give up, so they're thinking something's happening there, and if they want to, they can do an Elseworlds thing with it. It's just a matter of if you want to do that or not. And I say don't. Sorry, I just say don't do it. I'm not. I'm ready to move into the DCU, man. Um, Set photos have been released of Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn. I've tried to avoid them, but I've seen most of them already. She looks great. There's no doubt in my mind that she's going to look awesome in the role, and she's going to do great in the role. She's fantastic talent. I'm excited to see the movie. I try not to see set photos as much as possible, but that thing was just every 2 seconds when I scrolled, just popping up. So kind of saw that. And it looks cool. It looks cool. Can't wait to see that. But that's the DC stuff that's been going on. We're waiting for. There was a Blue Beetle set as well. I think we saw more of the Blue Beetle's costume. Um, but yeah, nothing else really going on DC wise. So let's go ahead and jump over to the horror realm. And again, I'm not, I'm not trying to attack people here. I try to be as nice and positive as possible, but it's like I'm just ready for the DC world to just keep going forward. I like the Snyder stuff. I do. But it's time to move forward. It doesn't seem. It just seems. I don't know why you would keep going with it. At this point, I don't know why you would keep going with it. Now that we have a new concrete way to go, like I said, you could probably do Elseworlds, but I mean, who knows? Anyways, going to horror now. Kicking it off with more Zack Snyder. He was asked about his Army of the Dead sequel. Remember that was the zombie film he had on Netflix, and they did a sequel, right? Army of Thieves. Army of Thieves. I did not see that movie, but it was part. It was part of it. That was not the sequel. It was like a spin-off or whatever. But there is a sequel for Army of Darkness happening. Zack Snyder said the following: as far as the Army of Universe goes, it's still alive. And as far as the Army universe goes, interesting way to put that, is still alive and well in my mind. I know exactly what I would do. It really depends on how we try to figure out how do we go forward with Rebel Moon and the Rebel Moon universe, because remember, he's doing that Moon universe. It's not a small time commitment. A sci-fi thing at this scale does require a lot of attention to make it all make sense. And Rebel Moon is like his Star Wars. So he's working on that universe right now, but he does still plan to do another zombie film, a sequel to this Army of Darkness movie, which I enjoyed that Army of Darkness movie, if I remember correctly. I haven't gone back to watch it, but I did enjoy it. So a sequel to it would be cool. Why not? Definitely interested in this Rebel Moon thing. But yeah, we'll see how it all turns out. It should be an interesting time. Let's see. Killers of the Flower Moon has a release date now. It's getting a limited release in theaters on October 6th, then a wide theatrical release on October 20th, 2023. From there, it will go to Apple TV Plus because it is an Apple original film. Let's see. The cast includes Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Lily Gladstone, Jesse Plemons, Brendan Fraser. Great cast, man. In 1920s Oklahoma, the Osage Nation were the richest people per capita in the world after oil was discovered under their land, and then they were murdered one by one. As the death toll rose, the newly created FBI took up the case and unraveled a chilling conspiracy, one of the most monstrous. I'm so used to saying one of the most notorious, one of the most monstrous crimes in history. End quote. So I see this movie, man. Seems like this movie's been talked about for a while, and it's not hasn't come out yet. I'm definitely interested in seeing that movie for sure. I mean, again, what a cast. Leo's in it. Come on. Crystal Lake, the Friday the 13th series, also seems to have a release, kind of, sort of, based on Adrienne King, who was the original final girl Friday the 13th. I think I'm getting that right. She put out a Instagram post, and at the end she put hashtag coming 2024, which leads people to believe the show will be dropping on the Peacock in 2024. Which is good for the Friday the 13th fans. I've been on record. I'm not a Friday the 13th guy. I've watched the movies and had some fun while watching them. But I'm glad they're getting something moving, man. The series has been just sitting there stalled for so long, and now they're finally getting a show going, which is good. I'm sure the Chucky show helped get that happen, and now it's moving forward. It seems like there's nothing holding that back. They can do whatever they want with it, apparently. So, more power to them, man. Can't wait to check it out. Let's see. Paramount Pictures is doing the unthinkable. Apparently, if you read a lot of comments, Paramount Pictures. Wow, I need to go to sleep. Paramount Pictures is doing a remake of Alfred Hitchcock's classic psychological thriller, 1958, Vertigo. What a movie. Possibly starring Robert Downey Jr. He and his wife will be producing the project as well. This is the first time that an American studio has attempted an outright remake of a Hitchcock film, apparently. I don't hate remakes. Again, something else I've been on record with. I don't hate remakes. I don't get the the attitude people have toward remakes. It does absolutely nothing to the original film. The original film's still there. It's not like it gets erased from existence. So it's a take on. I mean, anytime you're trying to do an Alfred Hitchcock movie, I mean, that guy was the master of suspense. So you gotta figure something out there to make it work. Obviously you got today's technology that you can mess around with and all that stuff. And Vertigo. I mean, I think last week's episode talked about that movie, The Fall or The Climb or whatever, and that has something to do with Vertigo and all that. I like the original Vertigo film, Hitchcock's Vertigo film, and I'll watch this, of course. But the last time they did I mean, not the last time, but that Psycho movie they did shot for shot remake of didn't turn out too well. Starred freaking dude, man, blanking on his name, dude from oh come on, the guy from Wedding Crashers. What is his name? Not Owen Wilson. Vince Vaughn. He was in that. Yeah, I don't remember that movie being good. yeah, I don't remember that movie being good. But what can you do? What can you do? It's getting remade, and remakes happen all the time, and you can choose to see it or not see it. It's up to you, but it's happening, and I will check it out. Robert Downey Jr. is a talented actor, so I guess something to believe in there. Let's see. April is the start of Halfway to Halloween. That is something that happens every year. Because we're getting close to Halloween, the greatest freaking holiday of every year, of course. And there's this thing that happens called Halfway to Halloween every single year. And the first announcements I've seen have come from Pluto TV. They have announced April Ghouls. The streaming service will dedicate programming blocks around the release of Evil Dead Rise and Renfield. For example, around the time Renfield releases, the streaming service will drop Nicolas Cage's OG vampire film, Vampire's Kiss, for you to check out. There's Howl at April's Full Moon, which unleashes found footage marathons featuring Cloverfield, of course, as well as many other horror-themed fun goodies over there, man. Halfway to Halloween, man. I can't believe it's almost April. Holy hell. But, that just means one step closer to Halloween Horror Nights. But yeah, there you go. The first announcements are halfway to Halloween. I will, of course, have more for you as they arrive. Let's see. Adam McKay has lined up Robert Pattinson, Amy Adams, Robert Downey Jr. again, Forrest Whitaker, and Danielle Deadwaller to head the cast of his next directorial debut titled Average Height, Average Build. The script and package is being sent out to studios and streamers now. Robert Pattinson will be playing a serial killer who enlists a lobbyist who will be played by Amy Adams to change laws that will allow him to get away with murders more easily. Downey's role will be a retired cop who won't give up on the murders. I mean, talented cast once again, so I will check that out. Adam McKay, I mean, freaking Oscar winner, Now it's like it's gonna be like a dark comedy. There's a lot of Adam McKay movies. For instance, I think he did Don't Look Up recently. He did, the Anchorman movie, Step Brothers, the other guys. So, in that vein, but, with a kind of a darker twist this time around. So, more power to him. Again, I will check it out for sure. All right, let's jump into other bits of news. First one to drop off here to talk about is news that broke today. Liv Tyler, Steven Tyler's daughter, she's an actress, of course, but she is Steven Tyler's daughter, will be reprising her Marvel role as Betty Ross in the MCU for the first time in, 15 years? Yeah, 15 years. For the Captain America film that's coming up, Captain America New World Order. New World Order. The character is daughter of General Thunderbolt Ross, who will be played by Harrison Ford this time around after the passing of William Hurt. I can't wait to see how Harrison Ford handles this, but that's cool, man. I like Liv Tyler. I've always liked Liv Tyler. Going back to my young days when I saw her in Aerosmith music videos and freaking That Thing You Do, one of my all-time favorite movies. So I've always kind of had like a soft spot. Jeez, messing up all kinds of words. Soft spot for Liv Tyler. So it's cool that she's returning, man. That's awesome to see her back in the MCU. Obviously, Edward Norton's not returning, or maybe he is. Who knows? They're doing timeline stuff over there, and they got to get people interested because people are not happy over Marvel. Holy hell. And there's other news that broke about Marvel, but I'm not going to talk about it because it gets me on a tyrant. So I just hope justice is served as always, is all I'm going to say there. But I'm glad Liv Tyler's back. That's cool to see her returning. Can't wait to see how that happens and seeing, if she has any interaction with Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. That'd be interesting, right? Because she was with Edward Norton's Hulk. Be interesting. Let's see. The next band that is getting a music doc over at Netflix has been announced. It is Kiss. Uh, I just feel like you have to say it like that. They are, of course, coming after Motley Crue's The Dirt. Kiss is getting a biopic called Shout It Out Loud, which is, of course, a classic Kiss song um, that will be hitting the Netflix in 2024, it looks, according to the band's manager. It will focus on the early days of Kiss. Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons, of course. Dude, I love that idea. Friggin', I like Kiss. They got a wild story. I mean, it says it's going to focus on the early days, but there's a lot of history there with Kiss and, some troubling times between the original members there. Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Ace Frehley, and Peter Criss, and all that stuff. But it does seem like it's going to focus mostly on Paul Stanley and Gene Simmons from what I'm reading here, which is fine. I mean, they're the two main members of Kiss. Nothing against Ace and Peter, of course, but I mean, Paul and Gene have been Kiss forever. Um, Excited, man. That Kiss is in my top 3 favorite bands. It's Motley Crue, Avenged Sevenfold, and Kiss. Those are my bands, man. So I'm excited about that. Love The Dirt. I've watched that movie so many times. I need to watch it again, actually. It's been a while, but love The Dirt. Obviously Motley Crue being my favorite band. I've read that book hundreds of thousands of times. That's a lie. That's a big number, but I've read it a lot of times. And I saw that movie a lot, so I can't wait for this Kiss thing to hit Netflix next year. A couple episodes back, talked about Jackie Chan saying about Rush Hour 4. It seems like Chris Tucker has also confirmed that this is happening recently when talking about upcoming things that he's working on. Chris Tucker said, Rush Hour 4, that's something I definitely will probably drop in there because I love working with Jackie. End quote. Cool, man. Rush Hour films are fun. I had a good time with them. I watched them recently, actually. A couple months ago, maybe. But I did watch them recently again. Still had a good time. Those two have great chemistry together. Fun action comedy films. Why not? Give me another one, man. Let's see. Oscar-winning director Questlove from The Roots, dude. He won an Oscar for Summer of Soul. Is doing a remake for Disney's latest live-action remake. The Aristocats is getting remade. How many people have always called that the Aristocrats? The Aristocats is getting a remake over at Disney. This will be a live blend of live action and CGI, so they're not going full cats on this thing. I think like Sonic the Hedgehog movie that recently came out. Cool. I don't get. Look, I like Disney. Mostly the theme park more than the video content, but I have no. I don't care. The live action films to me that they're changing into their cartoons, the live action movies. That's the new thing Disney's doing. We'll see how Little Mermaid. Jeez, I can't talk today. Little Mermaid. We'll see how that turns out. That Peter Pan movie did not look good to me. Pinocchio was alright, I guess. I did like Beauty and the Beast, but again, I love Emma Watson, so there might be a little bit of bias thrown in there somewhere. I love Emma Stone, but I did love Cruella a lot. I think Cruella was a really good freaking movie. They've done a lot of other ones. Maleficent, I guess, was alright. They've done a lot. Lion King absolutely sucked. I don't care what anybody says. That movie sucked. Aladdin was alright, I guess. So I don't know. I'll see it, of course, but I don't care. There's only one Disney live action movie that I am super stoked and excited about, and that's Snow White, man, because my girl Rachel Zegler, again, Shazam 2, see it. It's a fantastic movie. She's Snow White. And Gal Gadot's in the movie as well. Freaking take my money, dude. You already got my money. Just release the movie. And soundtrack. Freaking Rachel Zegler is an incredible singer, dude. Oh my god, have you not heard her sing? Do yourself a favor and go listen to her sing, man. Holy freaking hell, what a singer. I'm excited for that. Other Disney live action stuff, I'll take it as is. I know there's a Lilo and Stitch thing on the way. Who knows what else they're live action remaking at this point, but I'll have to wait and see how that goes. But Questlove, I like Questlove. He's an awesome drummer for The Roots. And again, he just won a freaking Oscar for Summer of Soul not too long ago. So, yeah, the guy knows what he's doing. So, give him credit where credit's due. We'll see how that works out. Super Troopers 3, hard turn. Wow, going from Disney to Broken Lizard Gang. But Super Troopers 3 is in the works. I feel like this was probably talked about before. on my show, but I did see this over the weekend on the Twitter. Um, Super Troopers 3 is in the works. While you wait for that, they have a movie called Quasi, like, Quasimodo. That movie is hitting Hulu on April 20th, of course, which they release Super Troopers 2 on the same date. I see what you guys are doing. I see what you're doing. Um, I like those Super Troopers films, so I'm excited for a third one. I don't remember the second one too much. I think I honestly have only seen that movie once. I do have a poster of it though, which I think I got. Why do I have a poster of this movie? I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it at maybe Josh got me one. But that first Super Troopers movie, I mean, come the frick on, dude! What a hilarious adventure that movie was. So yeah, I'm all for a third movie. They've done other films. I have not seen all of them. I think I saw Club Dread. Yeah, like a horror kind of movie. Then they had like other ones that I have not seen. Like I think Beer Fest was one of them. I think they had like a table tennis one as well. Maybe that is beer. I don't know, but I'm excited for that. I like Super Troopers. All right, closing out the episode with some video game news. First one to just drop off right away. Not because I'm not interested, it's just because this other video game thing I'm super stoked and excited about. But first off, Tony Todd, fantastic actor. You know him, of course, as Candyman. He's also in one of my all-time favorite horror movies, Hellfest. He is doing the voice for Venom in the upcoming Spider-Man 2 video game, and he has pretty much let it leak when the game is kind of releasing. And that'll be sometime this September. That's all he really said was September. I guess he kind of let that leak. It hasn't been officially announced, other than it will be arriving sometime this year. But he said September, so cool, man. I enjoyed that first Spider-Man game. I've not played Miles Morales yet, but I am excited to check that out. Kind of deep in video games right now. I got the WWE 2K23 game that I did play a little bit over the last week as well, doing some of that John Cena showcase. What I'm doing is I do the showcase match, and then of course that unlocks like that version of John Cena and the person he faced. And then once I do that, I leave the screen and then go run a regular match with them. Those two guys, but loving that game absolutely to death. And then I got to jump back into Hogwarts Legacy. The only reason I'm not playing that is because the WWE game came out, but got to jump into that. Still got to play freaking Gotham Knights. Yeah, I'm pretty deep in video games right now. But I am excited for Spider-Man 2. That trailer that we did get for it was awesome. Can't wait. I mean, Tony Todd's good at freaking playing menacing and him playing the voice for Venom. Oh, so good, dude. That's going to be so freaking awesome. Freaking, yeah, bring me that game. I'm excited for that one, for sure. But this other video game news that broke is something I've honestly been waiting for quite some time, and it was another franchise that I really wanted this to happen for, but I will take this as well, and hopefully this will lead to that other franchise that I've been hoping would do this video game style. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is getting another video game, but this time we're not doing one of those freaking retro games that they've been re-releasing and making video games out of, man. They're going more mature. Like, they're going hardcore mature with this next one, because the story will be following the Last Ronin storyline that they've been doing. That is a very graphic novel, a grim graphic novel, from what I understand. I have not read it, and I've avoided spoilers as much as possible on that. I know my brother has the novel. I don't know if he's read it yet or not, but I have avoided anything about that. But Senior Vice President for Games and Emerging Media at Paramount Global, Doug Rosen, confirmed the upcoming game title in an interview with Polygon. It will be a third-person action role-playing game, which is right up my mother-freaking alley. I love third-person action role-playing games. Much in the line of the most recent God of War titles, and authentic to the Last Ronin story, where only one of the four turtles is alive. Because again, like I said, it's a grim freaking story. I know that much. One of the turtles is alive. I don't know which one it is. I have my guess, but following that storyline, how freaking insane would it be if it lets you pick which turtle? Like, I know they're following that turtle line. Jesus, I need this freaking story of turtle line. Start just calling things turtle line anytime I talk about Ninja Turtles. Check out this turtle line of this turtles thing. Um, but yeah, if you could pick which turtle, like say you're starting the game off, and again, I don't know which ones survived, but you start off the game in your Donatello, you know, or your Leonardo, or your Raphael, or your Michelangelo. Like, whichever one. Imagine if you could do that each time you play. That would be freaking rad. But I don't think they're doing that. I think they're doing whatever the Last Ronin story is, which is also fine. You'd be mostly playing as one character, but inhabit others in flashback sequences. So you can play as other turtles in flashback sequences. Mother of God, this is what I want, man. I'm so excited about this. This is freaking amazing. Like I said, I love these third-person action role-playing adventure games. It's mainly the video games I played. Just mentioned Spider-Man earlier. Obviously, the Arkham games, the freaking the Uncharted games, the Until Dawn Dark Pictures anthology games, stuff like that. I love third person role playing games, man. And this is, like I said, everything I could have hoped for when a Ninja Turtles game is announced because I want something raw like that, man. The retro stuff is cool. Gives the old flashbacks and nostalgia and all that stuff. But like, no, dude. Like I want a game like this. And the other franchise I was talking about that I really want this with, and maybe you know this if you know me already, freaking Power Rangers, dude. Like that's what I was hoping for when they announced the Shattered Grid video game for the Power Rangers. Like, oh, this is freaking grim story that would be freaking awesome as a third-person video game. Sadly, it was another one of those retro kind of beat 'em up fighter games, which I played and had enough fun with it. Red Ranger kicked my ever loving ass, but eventually kicked his back and got through it. But I want a video game like that, and that's my hope here is that if this works out, which it will. I mean, the adult Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fans are gonna love this. Please give me a Power Rangers game like this. Like, for the love of God, give me a Power Rangers game for this. I don't want to get greedy because I am very excited about this and very happy that this is happening. And I hope nothing snags that from happening. Because even the Star Wars game, like the Star Wars Last Jedi, that's the movie. Um, Jedi Fallen Order. That game is amazing. I can't wait to play the sequel. It's coming out soon. Like that's the stuff I want, man. Give me a third person game like that. With like the Star Wars game, of course, getting greedy again, I would like to make my own character. Um, Same with the Power Rangers, like make your own Power Ranger or whatever. But with the Ninja Turtles, I get it. That's where you should go is those four, and that's fine. That's awesome. Or whichever one you're going to end up playing here. Again, I don't know which one you play. If you've read The Last Ronin, then you know which one you're going to play. But it sounds like you're going to play all of them in like flashback sequences and everything. So take my money now. You've already got my money. This is everything I could ever freaking want from a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. Maybe I would want the other characters live. But I will take what I can get. I'm not gonna get too greedy and all that, man. I'll take what I can get here, and that sounds flippin' amazing. I cannot wait to check out that video game. Obviously, this is very early. This news has just come out, but that is just that's amazing. That is the most amazing news I've heard all week, maybe all month. Like that is just freaking incredible, man. So excited. All right, then that's going to do it for the news, man. You got your mandatory DC, you got mandatory horror spooky talk, you got some Halloween Horror Nights talk here, you got some video games talk, you got a little bit of WrestleMania talk. We talk about anything else on this show? Everything? We got it all good? Dungeons and Dragons releases the week of this episode. I do plan on seeing that and reviewing it next week. Anything else to touch on here? Again, finals for the Thrill Me podcast Madness Challenge this week as well. This Thursday, Thrill Me Podcast Network's YouTube. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe. A new episode of the Metal Groove Podcast out right now. You'll have another episode of the Slasher Report coming this week. I guess Growing Up. Core Memory Unlocked. They just did their season. I think they're doing another. Fuck if I know. They always put out something awesome. That's all you need to know. Mr. Wonderful's still doing the Patreon unlocking, which is awesome. Which, by the way, can't believe it took me this long to get. I just start flowing with the show and start going because I'm awkward. Mr. Wonderful got married over the weekend. Congratulations to him and his lovely bride. Wish them all the happiness in the world with their marriage. Very happy for both of them. Yeah, glad that happened, man. So congratulations to them. He doesn't listen to my show, so he's not going to hear this. But nonetheless, that's going to do it for this episode, man. News-heavy episode. I'll have a review back for you next week. That's going to be it, man. Anything DC and horror, obviously mandatory every single episode. And then whatever random other bits of movie news and fun goodies that I can bring to the show will be on next week's episode. Appreciate you always taking the time to listen to this show. Please like, subscribe, share. I had to get one more word mess up in there. For the love of God. But that's the end of this episode, man. Thank you for listening. And as always, remember that happiness can be found even in the darkest of times if one remembers to turn on the light. Talk to you all next episode.